To my child, my dear, beloved child, I love you. You know that, right? I wanted to state that right from the beginning because, to be honest, you are driving me crazy. I have tried so hard to lead you in the right path, to teach you what is good, to make sure you have everything you need in life, to help you get out of bad situations you found yourself in, to protect you from harm. And that's why it hurts so badly to see you making bad choices, self-destructive choices. You're so much more interested in what your friends are doing and trying to impress them that it feels like you're just running away from me, discarding our relationship, rejecting the love that I have for you. I remember when you were little, you would grab my fingers and pull yourself up, and I would help you as you figured out how to take those first steps. You had the biggest smile on your face the first time you took a few steps on your own, and I cheered. There was such joy in that moment. Then, of course, you fell and started crying. I took you up in my arms and held you tight. I know you don't remember that. You probably don't remember the countless times when you were young that I kissed away boo-boos and rubbed your back when you were sick and got up in the middle of the night to take care of you. I'd bend down to feed you and lift you up to snuggle you right up against my cheek. But now that you're older, I try to come near you and you yell at me to go away. That is, when you're even talking to me. Most of the time, you just ignore me, pretend I'm not even here. The worst part is that you keep turning to other people's parents, and they are not giving you good advice. You take whatever self-serving philosophy or mind-numbing drug they give you. And the further you get on this path, the more you seem to forget where you came from and everything I've taught you. I suppose this kind of identity crisis is normal for kids to go through. But this has been rough. You're cruel to other people, violent even. You have blatant disregard for the gifts I've given you, treating everything as disposable. And still you insist on accumulating more things, even if it's at the expense of others. And I know you do have these moments of realizing that this isn't working. This isn't how you want to be, and you're in pain, you're suffering because of your choices. And you call me sometimes and you ask, how could I do this to you? But oh, my dear one, I'm not doing this to you. There are consequences of your actions and the consequences of the actions of others, and they hurt, I know. But believe me, I don't want this for you. It's so hard to see you do this to yourself. Your rejection of me hurts. Your pain and suffering hurt me. And I keep saying, come back, come home. We can work this out. But you keep doing your own thing. I can't force you to love me, or to love the people around you, or to love yourself. But at a certain point, I have to admit, it makes me angry. Honestly, I just sometimes want to wring your neck, Homer Simpson style. Why do you persist in rebelling against everything I've taught you? And so sometimes I think, fine, if you are so hell-bent on rejecting everything I've given you, then go. Do your thing. It's not going to end well. I can see that. But I guess you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. I try to turn my back. I try not to care so much. But I can't do it. I can't hand you over to destruction. I can't always save you from the consequences of your actions, but I can let go of my anger. Even though sometimes I think you really, really do deserve some punishment, I'm not going to punish you further. Because fundamentally, at my core, that's not who I am. My heart won't let me do it. My compassion is just too great. And listen, when I say heart, I don't necessarily mean warm, fuzzy feelings. I'm still super annoyed with you. And there may be some times where I've got to use some tough love. I am not a pushover. My heart is more like the core of who I am. It's the center of thinking and deciding and willing something. And so I am choosing not to act out of anger. I'm choosing compassion, which wells up inside of me and overflows because that's just who I am. Did you know that word compassion in Hebrew, it comes from the word womb? The Hebrew idea of compassion means something like womb love. Compassion comes from the very center of my being and comes to birth through you, my child. I know that sometimes it's hard for you to understand why I would choose compassion and mercy towards you, my recalcitrant child. But remember, I am God. I'm not like people. I mean, human parents, most of them do the best they can. But they're human. They don't always get it right. This I'm your mother metaphor only goes so far. Because I am God, the Holy One. And I am right here in your midst. Maybe you can think of it as my own personal rickroll to you. Because I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you. I don't want you to suffer. But I can't force you to turn back to me. I have to let you grow up and choose the path on which you'll walk. Choose the God you will follow. Because it's not love if you're forced to do it. But I do desperately want you to experience and know my love. And when you do suffer, I want you to know I'm here. Like a good parent, I will lift you up, heal you, comfort you, and never leave your side. I want you to know and experience this love, and to live in this love yourself, to show others the kind of love I've shown you. I want you to live in mercy and compassion instead of vengeance. I want you to give bread instead of bombs. You know, sometimes I look at you and I think, gosh, you look so much like me. I see your face and I think, wow, I see my own face reflected there. What could possibly make a parent happier than when someone looks at their child and says, "Isn't he just the spitting image of his father?" Or, "Doesn't she remind you of her mother?" Don't forget your family. If you get lost, you can always come home to me. Just remember, my child, love wins. Love always wins. Love God.